Hi everyone, I'm Sergio Vellatti with Haunted OC, and tonight we're meeting with Mike and Dawn Stanley. We learned about Mike and Dawn earlier last week when we discovered a clip from ABC News where they had produced an elaborate pirate display at their home in Aliso Viejo, California. Mike, Dawn, welcome. Would you like to talk about?
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
glad to be here. It's pretty awesome. So thanks for inviting us. Yeah, we're kind of known for this Halloween display that we did last year that got like national attention. It kind of hit every category. It was family fun. It was for a good cause. We did it for a charity. And then the cream on the top was that it was a Disney theme event. So ABC jumped all over it and did a news story locally. And then I got the attention from New York, and they ran a national story. So that encouraged a lot of people to cruise by and check out the display. So thank God we have great neighbors, because man, we got mobbed, and it was, but it was for a good cause. We were able to raise a lot of money for that, which my wife was the one that brought the charity piece into it, and it's been a great experience for us all. And watching the neighbors and the kids have a good time has been great. So
Awesome. Have you guys become like neighborhood celebrities?
well, there's a funny story. Is we had so many people coming out, and I had to cordon off the cul-de-sac because cars were trying to drive in and view it in their vehicle, but there was tons of people walking around in there, so somebody was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So I just coned it off, and we thought we didn't get a permit for that, or we were worried about that. And all of a sudden it was like day 5, and here come the cops, and we see that, and someone's all telling me, Mike, the police are here, and the siren, or not the siren, but the lights are gone. So her and I walk up to the cops who are walking towards us, and I say, oh, I'm the homeowner, sorry, like, what's going on? And he goes, I go, is there a problem? And he goes, no, I just heard about it and I wanted to see it. I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. And we go, oh, okay. And he goes, can I get a picture with you guys? And the cops were coming and handing out stickers to the kids, like little badge stickers. And they're all big fans of Disney, so they were coming and taking pictures with us. They wanted to take pictures with us.
It was
So
weird.
we were like going, oh, this is cool. Not only do we have security now, and but they're all into it, and we don't have any issue, right? So no, it turned out to be a great experience. And
So I would imagine an operation like that can be pretty costly. If you don't mind sharing, what kind of financial obstacle does that create?
well, yeah, I always get in
It costs a
trouble.
little bit of money.
I always get in trouble. So
Costs a couple pennies.
yeah, I mean, so like what's been happening is, like, this all started out with my son and I just doing it for each other and trying to impress
long
each
ago?
other. Well, he's 22 now. He's pretty much started, like 15 years ago, where him and I actively went out and we're like building our own props, and like, because he's been an artist since he was a little kid, and I'm an artist for fun. It's but I have a day job. But we just love sci-fi, comics, Halloween, monsters, all that stuff. I love that. And out of my 3 kids, I got one of them, and it's Wyatt, and he is all in from birth, pretty much. And then about 15 years ago, he just started making these really cool skeletons and things. Like, he'll take a skeleton from a big box store and he'll take it and make it look real. Like, when I say real, it looks like it came from the cemetery, And he has an eye for detail, and he tries to make everything, quality. Well, him and I are a little competitive, so we try to impress each other, right?
Right.
So the stakes keep getting raised every year. And again, we're just doing it for each other. And we're kind of like the only ones that would do something in our lawn every year. The neighbors would just kind of like put a pumpkin or something, but they wouldn't really build any displays. So Wyatt started getting into animatronics and learning about that. And, he went to OSHA, Orange County School of the Arts, and they got into costuming, and he learned all kinds of things there. And so when things started moving, and I had to step up my game, to compete. So that's when we started getting people, start talking about town, going, you got to check out this house. These two are going nuts over there, and it kind of just grew. I mean, I started construction last year. I remember this really kind of blew me away. It's when I knew something was going on a little different. Was last year. I was building a 44-foot pirate ship in my front lawn, and this guy pulls up on his mountain bike, and he goes, "So what are you building this year?" And I said, "Oh, we're doing Pirates of the Caribbean." And he goes, "Yeah, last year was awesome." I've never met this guy in my life. He goes, "I've been here coming for the last 3 years, and we look forward to it." And I got that comment so many times, which is really neat. I just thought it was kind of cool.
2021 was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
2022 is the Haunted Mansion.
Correct.
So how do you come up with which scene? Like, how do you pick your scenes? There's so many iconic scenes in that attraction.
Me and Wyatt, it's what we like. Like if we like a scene, we're gonna do it, And my son is just real like picky too. Like he's like, nah, not that one. That one's no good. Like, how about this one? So like he was real adamant about that scene with the guy in the armor where he's holding his head, So he just made that guy
from the graveyard
scene. Graveyard scene. So we're going to do like 3 different yards. So we're going to capture a lot of those iconic graveyard, the seesaw, and we'll have that.
Oh, so cool. By the way, Pirates of the Caribbean and a Haunted Mansion both are my favorite attractions in the park.
Yeah, us too.
Were those not the final 2 attractions that Walt Disney was involved with?
I think he died before Haunted Mansion opened, but he was definitely a part of it, like the design, all that stuff, and making sure. But I think he passed away before Haunted Mansion opened. Right. But I think he was there in '67 when Pirates opened. I think he died before that too. But I saw
he did the ride through, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
maybe before it actually opened. I don't know.
I saw those things on the documentaries and things, and it showed him playing with the models and showing you. But I don't think he actually made it to 1960s. I think he passed before '67. But no, I mean, those 2 rides fit well too for and why we picked them for multiple yards, right? Because they have a story. There's so many scenes that are iconic. So
how many scenes did you set on? How many scenes are you going to do for
we're
2022?
Doing, let's see, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8. So, yeah, and so...
well, kind of, too. Depends on the yard, too.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a hill, if it's flat, if it's... So you kind of bounce that around a little bit, too.
And then, like, just today, my neighbor, my buddy, Doug, he was saying, like, do you think this scene that you have here, wouldn't it look better on that yard? Because blah, blah, blah. And I was looking at it, and I go, you're right, because, like, the composition of what you're looking at, it makes more sense in a smaller space, and that one makes more sense in that space, so we flipped it. So there's a lot of that going on.
So it's not necessarily going in order of appearance as you see it on the attraction.
We try to stick to that, but we just can't based upon the way the yards are set. Like she said, like there's one that's like perfect. It looks just like the graveyard scene when you're coming around. They have a tree, so we're gonna have the lady on the swing.
Oh, so
the little prince. She has like a princess hat and then seesaw. It literally looks just like that. So I picked them from day one. I go, you got the seesaw scene right there. And then, yeah, so she's right. Like it has to make sense and fit. So we're doing the actual Haunted Mansion and the front of our house. So if you can picture like a movie set facade, like at Universal Studios or something, it's going to look like that. It's literally going to look just like the Haunted Mansion facade on the front of our house. So no one really understands until they see it. Because
Sure.
when I said last year, I'm building that red ship from Pirates of the Caribbean, they went, yeah. So anyway, and then they came back and they go, whoa, you weren't kidding. Like, I mean, we're going to have the 4 columns going up, the big iconic thing with the wrought iron and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
You're talking about the actual the architectural features of the house.
Yes. The front
The 3 stories.
So the front of the house, when you stand in front of my house, it will look just like the one at Disneyland. So
your house is getting a temporary facelift, essentially.
Yeah. And then the joke is we'll roll it into New Year's and just slap Nightmare Before Christmas on it, like to
Christmas, yeah.
go all the way through. If my neighbors don't,
that's an
We're
idea.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're thinking
If
about
my
it.
neighbors don't,
That's so
protest.
cool.
We'll see how everyone
But
feels.
Put the wreath.
we have
Well, we
those.
have it.
We have
from
the actual
ride,
ones
remember?
from the
We can
ride.
put it across our street.
That's right. So
So
that's a great idea.
I just don't want to push my luck, It's like if this goes well, if this goes as well as last year, then we'll do it.
Well, I know you're far from done. Maybe that's not very nice to say, but I know it's not done.
Thanks for reminding me.
I know.
But what would you say your favorite scene that you've completed? Like, what are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, the hands
Yes.
down, the singing statues.
The bus.
I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I always thought that was so cool. And I figured out how they did it when I was little. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's a projector. Like, look. And everyone's like, hey, weirdo. Like, what do who cares? But
I was that kid.
and me
Yeah.
too. Oh, man, same was Wyatt. Wyatt used to want to stop and get out and walk around and everything. But so I've always wanted to do that, like make those statues and like make that scene. It's a gift this year as I get to do it. And so I've made 3 out of 5 so far. They're completed. I've practiced and did the projection on it, and just people are going nuts just from that. I put a little snippet on my social media pages to show how it's coming along, and they're like, is that the ride or is that your thing? Because I did them life size, like full size sculptures out of foam, and it looks way better than it should. Like, it just is awesome. So, and also one last thing is the difference is too is if you were to build and replicate Haunted Mansion, a lot of that stuff, if you turn the lights on, you're like, oh, that's all it is,
Right.
Because they can get away with that stuff. So one of the things I struggle with as well is now that I've got all these people coming during the day,
Mm-hmm.
I got all these things. If I don't pay attention to that, it's gonna look lame
Has
during
to
the
look
day.
good in the day too.
So our stuff, I would say some of it looks even better because it's detailed all the way around the piece. It's so if you come at 2:00 in the afternoon, in the middle of summer, it's gonna look cool. Like it'll look like granite, but it's styrofoam, and you can see I airbrush shading and highlights and things everywhere. They don't have that at Haunted Mansion because they don't have to, right?
No, they rely on lighting.
Right.
'Cause
So
it's meant to be seen in darkness.
and so right. So ours looks super cool at night. It looks best at night because we have the lighting effects and things. But in the day, and like I said, when we got on the news, people were coming from Northern California, San Diego, at like 10 in the morning. And I'm all, no, come back at night. They're all, oh, we ain't coming back. It's a drive. But we're glad we came. But I'm glad that I did the detail so that it looked good during the day as well.
Yeah.
And it's harder. Like we can't just get away with, doing half the thing because it just won't look right during the day. So that's one of the more challenging things too is everything's got to look good. And luckily Wyatt, my son, is that way too. We want to make sure everything looks good in the daylight as well. So I'm not really afraid of this build because I built a pirate ship that I had never built in my life. And I was more scared of that than I am of this. And my neighbor he's like, I don't think you're realizing what we're getting ourselves into. The difference is too, is time is scarce. Like everybody's busy now. It seems like everybody's back to work. I think last year there's still some people had a lot of free time, so it was a little easier. Here it's I'm finding it harder to get everybody to help out as much as I need, and so I'd say our second biggest struggle is time and execution. And I've been building this thing in my head since January, and I did that. The ship was already built in my head, and I just had to put it together. My wife was the one that came up with the charity piece for the Marines, and that has brought about a really cool element where you get kind of cynical in life, and you're just looking for something good. We gotta, something good's gotta happen, right? And the whole family aspect and the whole charity piece has really showed me like there's good people out there. We had people driving up and handing me money out the window and going Semper Fi. And
that's amazing.
I thought that was so cool. Our mailman walked up and handed me an envelope and goes Semper Fi. So I'm like, there's a lot of good out there still.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't fall into the whole cynical thing. But just create fun. This is all for fun. What's wrong with that? There's always those people that are like, you're just doing it for fun? Like, why not?
Amazing. Well, before we close, is there anything you want to shout out? Any links, or do you want to direct traffic to your social media handles? Or
Sure. You want to tell them our social media?
Our Instagram is Stanley House 5, and house is HAUS 5. So STANLEYHAUS 5, and then Facebook is Stanley House.
Beautiful.
Without the 5.
We'll also put the links on the
and we're building a website because this business popped up to where I have so many people asking me to build these props for them. So hopefully I can quit my day job and I could just build props for a living. But so we're working on building a website so that we can push them to that, and if they want to get on the list and purchase these things, we'd love to do that.
Well, can I shout out the Marines too?
Please.
It's Dana Point 5th Marine Support Group. That's the charity everything goes to.
We're going to put all these links.
And shout out to Home Depot and Lowe's for sponsoring us. Thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. And yeah, so that's it. I mean, like I said, it's I love the whole idea of working with my son, my wife, on something positive and good. And one of my favorite things is Haunted Mansion and Disney, and it's you can't beat it. I mean, why? The reason why I get so bewildered is like, why wouldn't you want to? Because you get a lot of people who show up and go, "What's it all for?" What? Why? Why all the effort? Why all the? Boy, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Mike, and
I get it.
I just sit there. I actually look back at them and go, "We're all here for a short time."
Yeah.
What? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, isn't you're not promised tomorrow. Like have a good time while you're here, and if this makes you happy, and it's, why not? And so that's my thing. I just let's have some fun while we're here, and pay it forward and have a good time. I mean, it's
100%.
So, but yeah.
Well, you guys do amazing work. October 1st, that's our goal. That's your goal. I will be there October 1st and every day leading up to Halloween.
We only ask that you come in costume.
Okay. It's my favorite time of the year, and it's my birthday month.
Nice.
And it's my favorite attraction, so I can't wait to visit Thank you so much for your time. Mike and Dawn Stanley, thank you for
Thank
being
you. Yeah.
Thanks
here
for
with
having
us, Haunted OC.
Sweet.
And we'll catch you next time.